Hi, audience. Parul here, life and leadership coach and best-selling author. As usual, I have another episode today. We'll be talking to my special guest, Ramona Pop. Welcome on board, Ramona, and thank you very much for giving your time. Now, Ramona is a author, guest speaker, mindset, spiritual, and psychology coach. She also a ready presenter and an ambassador for Leadership Experience Tour. Now, we want to hear from Ramona herself about her background. Ramona, welcome on board. Can you please tell us a bit about you, who you are, what you do?
Hi, Parul. I'm very happy to be here with you and with our audience as well. So as you said already, you already introduced me. I'm Ramona Pop. I'm a spiritual psychology coach, recently a guest speaker and author. I'll be launching my book very soon. I created also an online coaching program called Discover Your Truth, as you can see here, right? And I love this is I finally do what I love. You know, this is what I define as being successful, doing what you really love, because we all have the impression that our life is gonna be forever, that we are immortal. Yes, that's true, our souls are immortal, but we as human beings here on this planet right now in this life, we are mortal. So we have to keep that in mind always, and to remember that we are here for a short period of time. So we have this amazing chance to really become our better self, our better version here. And we have the occasion and the chance to heal our lives. And yes, this is amazing. Just remembering this every single day and being grateful. So these are the main things which I bear in mind every day of my life. And let me take you back a little bit to tell you about my story, how everything started. So many years ago, I found myself, struggling, really, really struggling with everything. Most I was struggling with finding myself. I couldn't find myself being, like happy or grateful for anything I had. I had a beautiful life. Ever since I was a child, I always loved to learn. I was always the first one at school. I remember I wrote this on my manuscript when I started to write my book, and I had tears, coming onto my face when I remembered how good I was as a child. I always had this big desire. I was obsessed of learning more and just helping people more. But then when you grow up in a toxic environment, this will put the footprints on you. I mean, no matter what, you will get that. So once I started to understand that being surrounded by people who don't add value to your life, this is a big factor of this is a big thing of how your life will develop after.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when I started to understand all this stuff was the moment when I started as I told you, to struggle with being who I am. Actually, I started to questioning myself, who am I? So in that particular moment, when I started to question myself, who am I started to really dig for deep answers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the moment when the breakthrough came, when I had the biggest breakthrough of my life, when I realized that all that struggles and bad times, as I used to call them at that time, were actually the most blessed moments of my life, because otherwise I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be the empowering person I am today. I have discovered that working with my clients, that I'm such a powerful presence in their life. And, like now I start to realize that every little bad thing which occurred into my life along the way was actually a blessing. And I'm so grateful for everything. But at that moment, everything seemed so dark. So yes, I've lost my father when I was 32. I became a mother and a father overnight. I have a young daughter. She will be 10 years old soon, in like a week.
Wow.
And yes, so I struggled a lot, being a single mother and, having also these struggles like, I couldn't recognize myself. What am I doing here? What is this life about? It's just that, like, I never settled for less. And this was my I thought I was cursed with perfectionism, but it was not. Yes, because I believe perfectionism is like being cursed, And but actually, I realized that actually I was looking for more, and I was like ready to find myself and to understand who I really am. So from that point, I started to make like major changes. So
Mhm.
2 days I packed. I moved from Romania. I moved to UK. I came. I might. Oh my God! I remember that evening. When I moved here was Christmas Eve. I will never forget that day. I remember, people celebrating, was on the evening, actually on the Christmas Eve, on the evening I arrived here.
Okay.
So imagine that I moved with my daughter and my little dog and some luggages, then that's all. So we moved here and, everything seemed so like, oh my God, I made the mistake of my life, the biggest mistake and all that. But I had that inner, that inner voice, my intuition, and that was the first moment when I started to listen to it. Like,
Mhm.
no, you are in the right place. You are doing the right thing. You're on the right direction. You're on your path, actually. So that was the moment when I really became responsible for my life and for who I am as a person. And I understood that I am the one. I am God. I'm the creator of my life. I am the person who will be responsible for all my successes, for all my beautiful life from that point on. So that was the moment when I started to really, really understand that my spiritual awakening started, and and it's also happened in this beautiful day on the Christmas Eve, and I believe it's my life miracles that day when I really had the courage to change everything. So yeah, it's not a long time since then, but it looks like the things really accelerated, because once you awaken, everything makes sense. Everything is like,
Absolutely.
yeah, everything is so simple. Then it's like, you just took your veil off your eyes. Everything, you everything becomes light,
I
like
can see that one
brighter.
clearly. Yes. Well,
Yes.
Ramona, thank you very much for sharing your life story. Now, you kind of got into my next question. I was going to ask, how did you step into your power, or why you decided to focus on that particular point of how to step into your power?
Well, why I decided, yeah, this is another important thing. I believe is the most important thing, your why. When you find your why, it doesn't matter how the how will appear, but once you find your why, this is your fuel. This is your motivation. This is what will push you towards things and true things in life. Because let me tell you something. The storms will come anyway,
Yeah,
but you shall be so powerful that the storm will not take you away. You shall be so grounded always that nothing can step in front of, nothing can stop you. So why did I choose this? Well, the first thing which I want to really highlight and to make people understand is that the why, my why can be everybody's why. And it's not a like a very common why, like, oh, I want to be successful, that I'll have money to buy that, to go holidays, da, 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 da. No. Once you understand that we as human beings, we are God's creation, we are love, we are all that is, there is no separation, we are the whole world, we are the ocean, we are not the drop of the ocean, we are the whole ocean. So once you understand that you are love and you're God's child, like, yes, like you are love, you start loving yourself. So everything you do in your life, it's just love, like comes from love, like from within you. So this is my biggest why, because this is my why. I understood that I am love, and I need to serve. I need to be that, to project that love towards other people, because there is no bigger reward in this life than serving others and bringing value in people's life and changing
Absolutely,
them
yes.
and transforming them. Oh my God. Every time one of my clients are texting me, oh my God, you helped me change my life. Or I also have a client who said, like, you changed my life. I said, no, I was just there next to you. You did it. Because nobody ever can have power over you other than yourself. And this is the biggest thing that I'm very happy to share with our audience and with people around the world.
Thank you very much, Ramona. Now, we're going to go a bit more onto this now. Can you give us your, say, five top tips on how people can step into their power, especially those who never done it before? So, if you could take us through your top tips, that would be really good.
Well, my first tip, which I encourage people to do, is to start digging and to start digging and to really find out who who am I? So just start answering yourself this question: who am I? First of all, yeah. So once you understand and you have the question, the answer for who am I, then also I can encourage people to start some spiritual mind treatments every day, like they can use them as a tool, in order to have the most benefit of them, like in order to transform their lives, they can use these tools. So first tip will be this one, to ask themselves, who am I? And then, in order to keep a healthy and beautiful day every day, they can start with meditation. It's one of them. It's very powerful. Either it's a silent meditation, or like a guided meditation. It works anyway, because we need to be very aware of our minds as well. We have this mind operating like nonstop, like a radio in there. So we have to really work on that. Another tip is it's yoga. We all know that yoga means union. So once we understand also that energy, everything is energy. So once we move our bodies, the energy start to flow. So yoga is another tip which I will suggest, for people to just embody in their lives. And what else? Another tip, just to trust themselves and to stay authentic to themselves. I believe these are the most important things in everybody's life. And if we really become the observers of our lives, and we really observe the things which are changing, once we start and once we decide to do that change, oh my God, the miracles will just occur in our lives. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Amona, sharing your top tips. I think a couple of things I just want to point out. You mentioned about finding why we are created, who you are really. And then you talked about being authentic. Absolutely. When you are authentic, there is nothing, because it's you. is coming
Exactly.
from you. There's nothing can stop you. You also share some of the top tips of people doing yoga, meditation, daily habits. You talked
Yeah.
about daily habits, what people can do to keep you focused. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing your top tips. Yeah. Now, if you were to leave one thoughts with our audience, what that would be?
Well, my favorite thought that I will love that people remember every single day when they wake up, and this is also to encourage them to do their inner work, is our inner world creates our outer world. So the only way out is in. So please, everybody, start doing your inner work and start working on healing your wounds, because this will be your this will be the fact that will change, really change your day, your daily life, and your life, and and the life of your loved ones as well.
Thank you. What a great point, Ramona. Absolutely. We all need to work on our inner self, because once we find inner peace, everything else is nothing. It's just
And
finding your inner
always,
peace. Yeah.
yeah, and always to focus on ourselves first.
Yeah.
As much as people say that it's looks selfish and, oh my God, what do you mean, like focusing on myself, what about others? Believe me, once your cup is full, you can pour into others,
Absolutely.
into
Yes.
other people's cups. If
Yeah.
your cup is not full, how can I help you? If my cup is not full, how can I give? I want to have so much. I want my cups to be so full, and I will work so much on myself, on my healing, that I am able then I can be able to, I don't, to just help people everywhere, like to really make a difference in their lives. This is the way of doing it.
Thank you, Ramona. You just reminded me of one thing, because I work with lots of women, and what I've seen lots of women, because in nature, being a mother, housewife, or they always put everybody else first, not themselves. And I
Yeah,
always say, look, if you can't breathe, how can you let other people breathe? You really have to breathe. And you said yes. You have to look after yourself. Looking after yourself is not selfish, because if you want to pour into others, you have to have your cup full. Otherwise, how can you pour? Absolutely. Great point, Ramona.
exactly.
Great
Even in
point.
the airplanes, if
Yeah.
you, I don't know if you notice that even in the airplanes it
They
says
say put your
serve
mask first.
yourself first, then you can help others too. If
Absolutely.
you're
Absolutely.
half,
Yeah. Yeah.
bad, for
Yeah.
example, how you can help others? You can.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
if we don't take responsibility ourselves, who else could have? You have to take your own
exactly.
responsibility. Yeah, great point. Well, Ramona, thank you very much for coming to my stage, sharing your knowledge, your experiences. And if people want to connect with you, what's the best connection? Um,
Well, thank you for having me. It was a big pleasure to join this podcast together. Well, my social media, so I'm on LinkedIn, ramonapop.love, and on Instagram as well, ramonapop.love. My website it's ramonapop.co.uk, but it can also be found as ramonapop.com, both ways. And yeah, I will come back soon with the launching of my book. Will be a great event soon, and with my podcast as well. And yes, see you all soon to the
Well,
next
thank you very
one.
much, Ramona.
Thank you
Audience,
for
so
having me.
we finishing off with Ramona. So stay tuned for further interviews. But please do subscribe and do like and share our videos, because you never know. Your share and our top tips from our guest speakers could save somebody's life, because you've seen our videos. We got so many different topics. So please do like, share. And when you like, you get alert when we have another video coming up. So stay tuned and bye for now.
Bye.